Hello, my name is Andre Scott Grindle, and I live in Brewer, and I am a collector of vinyl and CD records, mostly jazz and R&B and funk and soul and everything in between from many eras. I enjoy going to yard sales in the summertime and to a lot of the thrift shops locally and sometimes even the Goodwill, and that's where you're usually going to find these kind of records that I'm talking about, in the budget bins. But that does not mean they're bad. It just means they're very obscure. And, you know, here are some of them. I found this at a place in Maine called Unity at the Common Ground Country Fair last year. This is Maxine Nightingale. Now, you remember her from the hit she had in the 70s called Right Back Here Where We Started From. And the name of this album is Bittersweet, from 1980. I got this in a free bin. And this is Ray Charles, back when he was on cornet. And after this, he gave up trying to sound like Nat King Cole and Charles Brown like he does on this record. This is probably a second printing, but still, found it in a great dollar bin I love to shop in. And this is LaBelle, and you all know who they are. Patti LaBelle, Sarah Dash, and Nona Hendrix in Phoenix, a big follow-up to their Nightbirds album, Lady Marmalade. I don't know where I found this, but it's a DJ copy. Well, Lionel Richie used to be in this band called the Commodores. This is one of their later albums. It's called, well, actually, this record is called, I don't know, Rock Solid. And this features songs written by George Duke and lead singer J.D. Nichols. And he was one-time member of Heatwave. The Commodores were reduced from a sextet to a quartet, actually, on this album. It's a very 80s type of record. And this is Levert, The Big Throwdown, from 1987. This is one of the newer items of vinyl I have. I think I found this in a dollar bin as well. This is Buddy Miles from the Jimi Hendrix's band of Gypsies, also famous for his first solo album, Them Changes. And the name of this record is called Message to the People. It has a great cover. I love it. This is Sergio Mendes and the Brazil 66, and the name of this album is Stillness. This is a transitional record from the Brazil 66 to the Brazil 77, who were more jazz and R&B oriented. This record I found at the Goodwill. I remember this. It's called Shannon. I don't know if you remember that song called Let the Music Play from the 80s. Well, that's the first song on this. Great album, produced by the members of the System on Mirage Records. This is Lonnie Liston Smith's Gotcha from 1979. It's kind of has a lot of disco and Latin influences for the guy that did Expansion. You remember that. And this is Mutiny. You know, Mutiny recorded a lot of records with, well, actually it's a lead singer by the name and drummer by the name of Jerome Braley, was a member of Parliament Funkadelic with George Clinton, but they had an argument, so he mutineered, and this is a pirate album, kind of anti-George Clinton in some ways, but still got the P-Funk if you like that. Now this is Miss Gladys Knight. This, I think, is her second solo album. I bought this. I actually haven't listened to it yet, but I'm here. It's very interesting. I think I'll really like that one. And here's Ray Charles, dedicated to you. And here's another Ray Charles vinyl called Sweet and Sour Tears. This came out in 1962. It's sort of a concept album. All the songs on it are about crying. And here is Sergio Mendes and the Brazil 77, as you can see on the back. And this is their album, Love Music. They do a lot of covers like Killing Me Softly and Don't Let Me Be Lonely Tonight. And they even do a song on this album called, well, I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. They do it in great Sergio Mendes style. And now here's an album by them. It's their first album called Payas Tropical. for the Brazil 77, but it was recorded in 1971. And this album features a good tune called Zanzibar, which you'll also find on the Earth, Wind and Fire album, Head to the Sky, but they did it first. And ladies and gentlemen, Miss Grace Jones. This is her third album, produced by Tom Moulton in 1979, called Muse, and this is one of her disco records. After this, she hooked up with a series of different producers and made the record Warm Leatherette, which made her famous. Well, that's a small sampling of what I've got. I got plenty of records more, and I'm making more of these videos. So I hope you enjoy the next installments as they come. Thank you.